Hello everyone, today I'm here to follow up on a video I made months ago explaining to you why I was going to quit achievement or trophy hunting. And today basically I want to go over how gaming has been for me ever since I made that decision. And I want to contrast it with some of the people that I've been accompanying which are still in the completionism hobby, which gives me a good perspective into how I'm doing things right now back to how I was doing them back then. A brief explanation for those of you who didn't watch that video was I was basically getting burnt out of the hobby. Everything that entailed achievement hunting and how it basically was putting limits on my enjoyment of gaming as a hobby in general. So I decided to quit it and move forward just gaming for the sake of it and playing whatever I enjoyed with no ulterior motives or goals that were tied to any third party platforms that focused on achievement or trophy hunting. It has now been a few months. I don't know in specific how many months it has been. I would have to go back and watch that video, even though in my mind the decision was made way before I made that video. But since my channel at the time was focused on a little bit of trophy hunting content, I decided to make a video out of it. But mentally, I was out of the hobby for too long. And that was because I wasn't enjoying gaming. Trophy hunting was making gaming worse on a daily basis for me. The question we are here to answer today is: has it been better? What has changed? And do you regret your decision or not? So let's answer those questions one by one. What has changed? The main difference that I have noticed when playing games without focusing on achievement hunting or trophy hunting is that I have less trouble making choices on what to play. So if you know anything about trophy hunting, you know that a lot of people get stuck in the process of even choosing a game, either because they look at the difficulty that it takes to achieve the 100%, or they look at the amount of time that getting that 100% does, and they tend to take a step back before choosing any types of games. It so happens that if you are not worried about the achievements, you can just go into the game and enjoy it for what it's worth, and then if you are tired of it, just abandon it. And if you have beaten it and you don't even have like 50% of the achievements, you won't be worried about it because you've enjoyed whatever you want to enjoy out of that game. But people who hunt achievements, and I was one of those people, sometimes don't even start the game if they see that the achievements are a roadblock to them finishing the game to 100%. And that's something that I am glad I don't have to worry about anymore, because it has made it easier, as I mentioned, to just go into games and enjoy them to their fullest. A recent example of this were both Hollow Knight and Hollow Knight Silksong, a game I would usually never play because of the hardest achievements that you have to speedrun the game and you have to 100% speedrun or do some deathless runs in the game. Now, I have played these games, enjoyed them, loved them, and they were a group of games that I would have never have played before. So as you can imagine, not only has this made me enjoy more games, but more genres of games in general. If we're being honest, every player has a certain array of genres that they usually tend to be drawn to, not only when it comes to achievement hunting, but playing in general. Once you remove any restriction that is tied to your gaming hobby, it just so happens that you tend to be drawn to try out new things. These restrictions, despite not being something that is put in place by any platform or anything, are roadblocks that people ingrain in their minds so hard that they just block out a lot of stuff when it comes to something that is supposed to be a hobby. And I'm speaking through the lens of someone who was inside the hobby and now, as I mentioned, can analyze it from an exterior perspective and has seen how different it feels the entire community of trophy and achievement hunting from now this perspective that I have. And this leads me to another point that I was also speaking with someone the other day that really changed when it comes to leaving the achievement hunting hobby was the overall skill and performance of me as a player in video games. What happens, as I mentioned, for people who tend to trophy hunt is that they try to streamline their experience to be the best that they can. To do that, they usually tend to read guides, watch videos and explanations of the game before even playing the game. That was something I did, that is something that people that are in the hobby do, and there's no denying it. What I've understood over the past few months is that by doing that, you are limiting your skill set and your capabilities as a gamer even before launching the game. And that happens because by doing that constantly from game to game, I'm not even speaking about one game in general, I mean in the hobby and in gaming as general, what you are doing is handicapping yourself by not allowing you as a player to develop natural skills that can transfer from genre to genre or gaming to game. Because if you go into a game with a set of goals that are not provided to you through natural instinct and or game design, it happens that you will cater your playstyle to fit those goals instead of learning the game naturally and then using the skill set that you develop through gaming and playing that game to achieve the goals that the game has when it comes to the time to achievement hunt. And people usually do this and try to analyze the game before even launching it to try and avoid spending more time than they were supposed to get 100%. But the thing is, if you are trying to spend less time in the game you want to have fun in, then there's something wrong with how you're approaching things, because it usually should be that you play a game and then you enjoy it so much that you want to spend more time in it and then you go for the 100%. And this is nothing that anyone that's in the hobby doesn't know, but there is a lot of denial inside of the hobby that people don't want to accept. And I think coming to terms with the fact that maybe you're not enjoying games as much as you could be enjoying them is something that you should take in consideration. I want to add a little note before heading into the last question that I want to answer, which is, have I gone back? Have I 100%ed anything? And the answer is, I have 100%ed a few like very simple games. And no, I have never felt the need to go back or come back to the hobby. It happened in the beginning, in the first few months, and this is sounding like some kind of addiction conversation, but it kind of is a type of addiction, achievement hunting and completionism. But in the first few months, I felt drawn to maybe just check out the guide, check out what the 100% was compromised of when I was trying to get into a game, and I just blocked and got it to my head that I couldn't do that if I really wanted to enjoy the hobby and focus on making videos and enjoying the most games that I could, which was the main purpose of abandoning the hobby. And over time, what I noticed is that since I dropped achievement hunting and started taking steps towards focusing on the games themselves, every time I felt drawn to maybe achievement hunt in the game, it was easier for me to just block out the idea of achievement hunting and actually playing a game if I saw that the achievements were not appealing to me or not easily done and would take too much effort that would make the game unenjoyable. And nowadays, approaching a game is easier for me because I don't even take a look at the achievements before booting the game, and I am honestly quite happy just by beating it and being able to talk about it, which was one of my main goals. And this was basically a note, but I think it answers the question, do I regret leaving the hobby? No. Do I sometimes want to 100% games? Yes, but as you probably understood by this video, I only do it if it is a natural 100% or if I really enjoy the entire experience of getting that 100% and if I think it complements what the game has to offer on its base campaign or anything like that. To close this video off, I just want to remind people that I have no hostility towards people that are still enjoying the hobby. I think you should enjoy games how you think you would enjoy them best. This is just my personal journey and view of how things were and how things are right now, and I would love to hear your opinion on what you still are doing, how you are enjoying achievement hunting, what you think about my overall journey. Maybe go watch that other video that I did back then if you're interested on the reasons I quit. I don't even remember what I said in that video myself, and yeah, I'd love to hear from you all. Other than that, I'm out.